What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and yes, we are doing yet another tier list, but this time it will be a tier list of the vintage Pokemon card sets, ranging from base set all the way to the EX era of Pokemon. Before we get started on this, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to this beautiful channel to show your support. I appreciate each and every one of you who watches, and don't forget to destroy that like button for me. Thank you. The reason I'm not going to be including the Diamond and Pearl, Black and White sets is because my knowledge of those sets, particularly in the market of Pokemon investing, is very slim. So I only want to go over sets that I have a good amount of knowledge of and that I was able to do a lot of research about. So let's get started right now. Like I said, we're going to be doing base set all the way through all of the the EX era of Pokemon. S tier. Right here. S tier for this will be God tier. Now, when doing this tier list, it's easy to put like almost all these sets into the S tier because they're all very valuable in one way, shape, or form, and they all have awesome cards, so it'd be pretty easy to put all these in the S tier, but we have to have a cutoff. So the S tier is going to be our God tier. It's going to be the jaw-dropping prices. We're going to be going over not only the booster box and booster pack, sealed product value of these sets, but the graded card values as well as the popularity. A set might be expensive, the booster box might be scarce, but how popular is it? How in demand are these sets? So we're going to go over all that. So yeah, S tier, I think it's going to be like the $50,000+ booster boxes, those PSA 10 cards that are well beyond 20,000, just God tier popularity. That's going to be what's in the S tier. The A tier is going to be slightly below that. It's going to be still very popular sets, but the booster boxes maybe range from 15,000 to 50,000. The PSA cards, a lot of them will be in the 5-figure range, things like that. B tier is going to be a little bit less than that even. Booster boxes ranging at around $10,000. A lot of the PSA 10 cards in the couple $1,000 range. And then the C tier is going to be like sealed product that's less than $10,000 with not a whole lot of very popular cards in the set, or maybe not the most valuable in comparison to the A and S tier sets. And the D tier is my dog crap tier, and we're just going to take that off right now. We're going to delete that because none of these sets are worthy of the D, unlike some of the sets from my modern tier list. So let's get started right now with Fossil set. I got Fossil right here. Now, the thing with Fossil is there's a lot of it. There's a lot of Fossil. Even right now, the booster boxes, they were almost at 20,000, and now they're back down to like 15-ish. So there's lots and lots of sealed product to go around. And the cards in there, I mean, you got a couple heavy hitters like Gengar and Dragonite, but nothing that's going to be like $30,000 cards, nothing like that yet. So we're going to put that in the A tier for right now. I'm thinking it's going to be the lower A tier once it's all said and done. Here we have EX Legend Maker. Now, the last booster box I seen this go for was about $8,525, so not too bad, but that's the less than the $10,000 range that we were looking for. And the gold stars, you have the Regirock, Regice, Registeel, not very popular gold star cards. Most of those go for about $2,500 or less in PSA 10, so we're going to put Legend Maker in the C tier because I think this is going to be the more lacking of the sets we go over. Here we have Neo Revelation. Now, the booster boxes of this are tens and tens of thousands of dollars, I think. And the Entei, Suicune, Raikos are all 5-figure cards. So I think we're going to put this up in the old S tier for right now. Maybe we'll change our minds here in a minute. So it's probably going to be the lower S tier, but still an amazing set and extremely expensive to say the least. Up next, we have Hidden Legends. We're going to put that in the C tier. Booster boxes for this set are less than $8,000. Most of the EX cards from this set are $1,000 or less as PSA 10. So once again, this is just the investability I'm going over. I mean, each one of these sets has amazing cards and, plays a certain role in Pokemon. I'm just talking about the best of the best compared to each other. So I think Hidden Legends is the C tier list for sure. We have Base 2. Now base 2 used to be very, very like shunned, you know, along with legendary collections. Like, ugh, base 2, ugh, legendary collection, all these reprints. But base 2 and particularly legendary collection have really picked up their pace in the investability. I think it's because the holographics are very low populated. So we're going to put this in the A tier for now. I think it's going to be the lower end, kind of like Fossil. All right, up next we have EX Unseen Forces. Now, EX Unseen Forces is difficult to establish because I haven't seen any sold listings recently, and the only one for sale I think is like $21,000, and I don't think anybody's going to buy that quite yet. Unseen Forces has the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune Gold Stars, and those are the most populated PSA 10 Gold Stars in the hobby. There's some kind of issue. Somebody got their hands on a whole bunch of those and were able to grade all of them, so the value of those cards isn't quite there because there's so much in the PSA 10 population. So Unseen Forces, I think we're going to put this in the B tier list, simply because the Gold Stars are very available compared to other Gold Stars. All right, EX Sandstorm, pretty sure that's going to be in the C tier list. The booster boxes are pretty inexpensive. I think I saw one go for about $7,000. You can get 10 booster packs. I think I saw 10 booster packs sell for $600. The EX cards in this set are less than $1,000. They got a Typhlosion EX that went for, what was it, $734. So not a whole lot going on with EX Sandstorm as far as investability. Now keep in mind, the popularity of Pokemon, particularly in the EX era, was pretty much at an all-time low. It started to really die down in the E-Series with Expedition, Skyridge, Aquapolis, and then really kind of almost, not going to say flatline, but really was not that popular in the EX era, so I'm taking that into account as well when I put these in their tier lists. All right, Skyridge. Skyridge is probably the second most expensive booster box of all time. You got the Crystal Charizard, Crystal Celebi, a whole bunch of crystal cards in this set. The holos are all pretty expensive. We're going to put that in the S tier list for sure. All right, up next we have the Expedition set with the Feraligatr artwork. I'm going to put this in the A tier list for now. I feel like this booster box is very scarce. I think that's why it's so expensive. But when you look at the cards in Expedition, and they're pretty expensive, but you're not going to see any $20,000, $30,000 cards from Expedition. I think that's because it was not the first set to get crystal cards. That came with Aquapolis. So the chase really wasn't there yet until we saw those crystal cards. So we're going to put that in the A tier list for right now. All right, EX Dragon Frontiers. We're going to put this in the A list. We're going to put this right above Expedition because you got that Gold Star Charizard. It's like almost over $20,000 as a PSA 10, I think. Yeah. So when we look at Dragon Frontiers booster boxes sold for like $25,000, the Charizard Gold Stars right around that range as well. So a lot of potential in that box as far as hitting that Gold Star Charizard, but not a whole lot else. I mean, the holos go for, you know, a few $100s as a PSA 10. You have the Gold Star Mew that's also very expensive, but yeah, we're going to put that in the A tier for right now. All right. EX Team Magma versus Team Aqua. There's a booster box for sale, I think right now, about $12,000. The EX cards from this set aren't really that valuable. You can get a Raikou EX PSA 10 for like $800 some dollars. So this is going to go in the C tier list for right now. We got EX Crystal Guardians. I think that's also going to go in the C tier list. The Charizard, there's a Charizard in this set, and it's not that valuable compared to the other Charizards. The PSA 10 Charizard goes for like $2,600. I mean, you got the Gold Star Alakazam and I think Celebi from this set, and those only go for a couple thousand a piece. Booster packs will cost you about $250, so not the most expensive set among these sets. We have Neo Genesis, one of my favorites. We're putting that in the S tier. We're going to put that right up front because, well, we'll put Skyridge in front. But yeah, Neo Genesis belongs in the S tier because you got Lugia, right? $100-some thousand as a PSA 10. You got the Typhlosion 17 in a PSA 10. We're not even sure how much that's worth because one hasn't sold since, you know, TCA Gaming bought it for like $10,000, so it's a lot more than that now. And the booster boxes are tens and tens of thousands of dollars. So I think this set is an S tier all day. Next up we have EX Delta Species. The booster box for this went for, I think, about like $11,000. However, the gold stars in this set, like Metagross, Groudon, not the most popular of gold stars, so I think we're going to put this in the B tier list for right now. Alright, EX Deoxys coming up. Now, the big card in this set, as you all know, is the gold star Rayquaza that goes for well over, I think, maybe $25,000 or more. And the booster boxes are very, very scarce. Booster packs range between $400 and $600, so I think this has a very nice seat in the A tier ranking. Alright, up next we have Team Rocket. Team Rocket is one of the most popular sets of all time. However, the graded cards, you're not going to see those extravagant price tags as you do in base set and Skyridge and all those. You know, the Dark Charizard First Edition Holo is around $6,000 now, and that's your big hitter from that set. The booster box is about $15,000, so it is tremendously popular, but there's a lot of availability in this set, kind of the same as Fossil. So we're going to put that in the A tier for right now. Up next, we have Gym Challenge, and that is also going in the A tier. This set, you do have Blaine's Charizard, which is pretty close to a $10,000 card, so lots of good holos in this set. Definitely belongs in the A tier. Gym Heroes, I'm just going to go in the A tier, but on the lower end. I think we're going to put it at the end right now. I mean, you got some awesome cards like Blaine's Moltres, Sabrina's Gengar that fetch a very high price tag. The boxes of this between $10,000 and $15,000, so it's right there with Gym Challenge, but maybe a little bit less popular because Gym Challenge does have that Blaine's Charizard in there. Up next, we have EX Holon Phantoms. This set, I think it's like the packs are about almost $300 a pack. You do have nice gold stars like Pikachu, Gyarados, and Mewtwo. I think Gyarados went for over $10,000 at PSA 10. So Holon Phantoms we're going to put in the tippy top of the B tier list. Up next we have EX Team Rocket Returns, one of my favorite, actually you know what, it is my favorite set of the EX era. And we're going to put this puppy right smack dab in front in the A tier list because the booster boxes for this are very expensive. I think right now if you wanted to get one, I think one was sold at $25,000 or best offer, so maybe a little bit less than that. But this was the first set to have gold stars. That Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip, very expensive. The PSA 10 Torchic went for over $25,000, as well as all those beautiful holos. Yeah, so this is a scarce set to get your hands on as far as sealed product, and those gold stars are hefty. So we're gonna put that in the top of the A tier list. Up next, Neo Destiny. We're going to put that right behind Skyridge. That is one of the best sets of all time. You got Shining Charizard. That's been $20,000 or more for the past couple months as a PSA 10. Lots of Shining cards, lots of holo cards that are worth a ton of money. The booster box itself is insane. You know, I think it's well over $30,000. So that's definitely an S tier set for sure. Neo Discovery. We're going to put that in the very end. That's always been the least of the Neo series. I think it's always gone like Neo Destiny's been the best, and then Neo Genesis and Neo Revelation like always fight for second, and then poor old Neo Discovery gets stuck in third place. But the booster boxes are still very expensive. 20-some thousand dollars, I think, for a first edition box. The Yanma, I think, went for like over $15,000 at PSA 10. The Umbreon, likewise. It's very expensive, but it doesn't have that popularity like the other sets do. You know, in terms of shining Pokemon, they don't have legendary dogs. You know, it has the evolutions, and it has a hard to grade Yanma. That's your big hitters for that set, but still very, very, very expensive to get your hands on sealed product, and some of the cards are very, very valuable. So between the EX Team Rocket Returns and Neo Discovery, I think we're going to give the Neo Discovery the S tier rating. Alright, up next we have EX Ruby and Sapphire. We're going to put that in the C tier list. The booster boxes I think are a little bit over $7,000 to get one sealed. Not a whole lot in terms of PSA 10 cards to choose from. You got a Mewtwo, Mewtwo EX, PSA 10, I think about $2,000, and that's going to be your heavy hitter for that set. So yeah, compared to the other sets, it's just not the best. Alright, up next we have EX Power Keepers. The booster boxes. I seen one, I think it was $9,500 or best offer. So it's definitely below the $10,000 mark. It has a Charizard in this set, but I think it's less than $5,000 for a PSA 10. You do got the Evolution Gold Stars in Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon. But I think I've seen an auction go for all those together for like $8,000 or a little bit more than that for all three of those cards. So we're going to put that in the B tier list for now. A solid set. Yeah. Up next we have Aquapolis. The first set to include crystal cards. You got that Crystal Lugia, super expensive. The booster boxes are the same, you know, maybe $30,000 to $40,000 for those boxes. I'm not sure, but all I know is when they come along, they fetch a very hefty price tag. So we're going to put Aquapolis right behind Neo Genesis up in the S tier. Up next, we have Fire Red, Leaf Green. The booster boxes range between $14,000 and $15,000 for this set. The Charizard EX from the set, I think last went for $7,700. So we're going to put this on the upper end of the B tier list. That's a very, very nice set to invest in. I'd be crossed between A and B. We'll put it in the top of the B tier list for now. Jungle set, that's definitely going to be in the A tier list. You got lots of six-figure card potential in these booster boxes with Snorlax and Vaporeon. Very, very sought after cards. The booster boxes, they were at one point almost reaching $30,000, now down between $15,000 and $20,000, so still very valuable, but not a jaw-dropping price like we see with some of these sets. We have EX Dragon next. The packs for this are actually pretty inexpensive. I've seen them on eBay for 200 some bucks for a booster pack. The Charizard from this set is not that expensive either. It's like $3,100, so I think EX Dragon is going to be somewhere down the C tier list. Up next, we have Legendary Collection. This is like a comeback kid kind of set. Before it was like, ugh, Legendary Collection, base 2, no thank you. And now it's like all the reverse holos from that set can be pretty pricey in PSA 10. You got the reverse holo Charizard, you got the regular holo Charizard, both insanely expensive. The booster boxes likewise, so I think with Legendary Collection it's got to go to the S tier because there's so much potential in those booster boxes. You know, the booster packs, even if they're weighed or not, you still have that possibility of getting the reverse holo Charizard, which is super expensive. So I think that's the lower end of the S tier, but still a mighty set, to say the least. Here we have EX Emerald. I didn't know a whole lot about EX Emerald. I had to look it up, but the booster boxes range between $8,000 and $10,000 for this set. And for some reason, Milotic EX is the heavy hitter card. PSA 9 goes for like $600 some. Otherwise, it's just not a whole lot going on with this set that I could see. Seems to not be the most popular one, so we're going to put that in the upper end of the C tier list. And last but not least, we have base set, and that is a given. S tier all day, whether you're talking first edition, shadowless, unlimited. There's just so much going on with base set, especially first edition. Those booster boxes, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Charizard, hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is S tier all day. And I think that's about it right there. What do you think? What do you think of this tier list? I think this is pretty accurate. I don't know. This is all my opinion. Let me know what you think here, especially about the S tier. I think that's all pretty. I think this is a pretty safe bet in the S tier as far as investability. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.